The folks at Aleader were kind enough to send us a couple of new pair of water shoes to test out. These are the DRAINPRO XT model, and they sent a pair for me. They also sent a pair for my son, because the two of us are out on a 9-day backcountry canoe trip here in northwestern Ontario. And so we're going to put these to the test, see how well they work. Just to give you my initial first impressions, I like the looks of them. They look like a really nice looking shoe, but they're more of a hybrid. They seem to be more like a cross between a running shoe and a water shoe. The sole seems very strong. There's not a lot of flex in there, which is good to give you some support. There's a bit of a protection on the toe, which is great when you're walking through the water, any sharp objects down there. And as a water shoe, they look pretty good because there's lots of holes in the bottom, lots of mesh on the top to drain the water, which of course is what you want with a water shoe. And the bottom, the tread, it looks pretty impressive. It looks like it's going to stick to those slippery rocks, but over the next few days we'll put them to the test and find out. Today we're looking at the DRAINPRO XT water shoe made by Aleader, a company that specializes in the manufacture of high-performance footwear. These shoes have the look and the feel of a traditional running shoe, but they incorporate all the water-draining technology found in an aquatic water shoe. The upper portion features lots of mesh fabric for good water drainage, and it's made from a highly breathable, quick-drying textile material. The stylish synthetic ribbon along the sides add extra support and stability. A quick lacing system allows you to easily and quickly tighten or loosen the fit. Removable insoles are perforated to allow for easy drainage. This will also allow you to insert orthotics if need be. The thick and supportive outsole features 9 drainage ports and non-marring rubber tread insert for traction on slippery surfaces. And a nice toe guard at the front adds a good amount of protection. These shoes are pretty lightweight in size. My size 8 shoes weighed in at a moderate 13 ounces a pair. That's just 350 grams. The DRAINPRO XT comes in sizes ranging from 7 to 12. Now, let's see how these shoes stand up in the real world. Okay, Brad, what do you think about those shoes?
So I like the overall look of the shoes. It's got a nice color scheme to it. Decent traction on the bottom, and the drain holes aren't too big to allow for like sticks and stuff to get stuck in there. I was able to walk through the bush. You still get the odd stick stuck through there. Not as bad as some of the other Aleader shoes I've tried in the past. The only thing I really didn't like was how tight it was to really get your foot in here. I was a little tight getting the foot in here, but once it does get in there, it's pretty secure and tight with the drawstring, which I found was great and wasn't falling off in the water. But yeah, I mean, grip was pretty good and it drained really well. So there was also a bit of good stability traction with the heel roll there. So pretty impressed, not bad.
Okay, so we just completed a week-long canoe trip through the Canadian wilderness, and I have to say these Aleader water shoes really came in handy. What I like about them, the sole has a lot of support in it, which is really good when you're walking on rough terrain, and there's protection on the toe so you don't hurt yourself that way. As a water shoe, there's lots of mesh on the top and good sized drainage holes in the bottom, so you're not getting a lot of water back in the boat when you get in and out. That's a really nice thing to have. Traction wise, there's some good traction rubberized material on the bottom here, but there were a few instances where really slick algae covered rocks where it didn't grip so well. But I really don't know any shoe that under those conditions that works, you know, 100% of the time. But normally for most wet rocks, logs, things like that, I had really good grip. The one thing that I found that, you know, that wasn't a positive is that the fact that I found them a little hard to get into, especially at first when they were brand new. There's no tongue on this shoe, so you can't kind of make the opening bigger. And it's not a stretchy material, so that's basically as big as it gets. So getting your foot in, especially when your foot's wet, was a little difficult at first. And to make matters worse, there's this little pull tab on the back, which is a good thing, you know, but it's kind of tiny. It's kind of hard to grip. And in fact, I mean, usually there is a loop. It's a tiny loop, but it's so small you can't get your finger in. So, like I say, putting them on was a bit tight. Once they were on, they fit perfect and they worked well. So it's not necessarily a deal breaker, but it's just something to point out. All in all though, really impressed with the quality and the functionality of these Aleader water shoes.